Florida teachers now can lose their jobs under new Don't Say Gay law. Florida teachers who intentionally teach students in grades K through 3 about gender identity or sexual orientation may lose their teaching license under a new proposed rule from the state's Department of Education. The proposed amendment to the state's Principles of Professional Conduct for Educators enforces the state's Parental Rights in Education law, known by opponents as the Don't Say Gay law. The law prohibits such instruction in K through 3rd grade, but allows teachers to teach these topics in an age-appropriate manner in older grades. The amendment was first proposed in August and approved by the state's Commissioner of Education, Manny Diaz Jr. on September 23rd, the day before Governor Ron DeSantis declared a state of emergency for all Florida due to the then-looming Hurricane Ian. Alex Lanfranconi, the Director of Communications for the State Education Department, in an emailed statement said, quote, "It should not be surprising that educators are at risk of having their certificates sanctioned if they violate state law. The proposed amendment will change nothing for teachers who follow the law and are focused on providing high-quality classroom instruction aligned to state academic standards," end quote. A final rule could be approved as early as this month. Gay rights activists sued the department and the governor over the law earlier this year, claiming it violates freedom of speech and equal protection rights of LGBTQ plus students and families. I mean, it's more of the same. I don't know how, we talked about off air, how long can we sustain this just constant barrage of attacks when, the community is already, and not just the LGBTQ plus community, but we're all exhausted from trying to preserve democracy. Is now every election going to be an attack on everyone's individual freedoms?
Well, the short order is yes, it's going to be. Daniel, I'm really curious in terms of Pride Line's roles and who you work for. As these teachers face this, not being able to have a sticker that says it's a safe space to talk in this classroom of what's going on at home, or being bullied among student peers, etc. How does Pride Lines in 2022, how are y'all responding to what we're watching? And in fact, including the bullying of teachers. How does Pride Lines respond to what we're watching?
I mean, well, we thought that this problem was, something of the past. School is not safe. It's not safe, in terms of, threat to life with the proliferation of guns. It's also not safe for LGBTQ young people. And so, our mission is more true than it has been, since 1982. We provide essential safe spaces to young people, and it's quite literally the only refuge, one of the last refuge for young people in Miami-Dade County.
So the chilling effect of this bill continues to, reverberate over time. And this administrative memo purports to have these guardrails that if the teachers are in grades K through 3, right? And so this memo makes a direct threat to these teachers. But you know what? It has an impact on every teacher of every grade level, because what they're saying is, I do not want to put my low-paying job on the line and lose the income that I'm earning and the roof over my head, and therefore all topics related to sexual orientation and gender identity, I'm just not going to touch them. Right? So while this pretends to be about K through 3, it's impacting every single teacher because they're terrified in their job by threats that are being made like this. Right? This is a threat, right? And we've never seen this kind of a threat made with regard to high quality education, right? How many times have they told teachers, if you're not teaching and making sure that you're doing a good job in core areas of education, you will lose your job? No, right? Mediocrity is accepted all the time within the Department of Education, but this time we have standards for what's going to be happening. So all of this is theater. It is all theater.
And the proof of that observation, it seems to me, is all you have to do is look at the chill that you're talking about that this memo has in schools. and decision-making around schools is all you have to do is look at what Miami-Dade County made the decision to do for October. They have a 7-1 vote in 2021 to have a month-long celebration of LGBT history and post Don't Say Gay of kindergartners through 3rd grade. There is a complete rejection of LGBT history in Miami-Dade County by the exact same vote in reverse, 7-1.
Right, and this is really important to say, right? Because this is what has been happening even with the polls that have been done outside, the way that the bill has been twisted. What the narrative is saying is that when you talk about LGBTQ people and history is equal to you talking about sex. They're so perverse and they're so obsessed with sex themselves that they make that connection. No, when you talk about LGBTQ people, you talk about the incredible contributions that we have made to science, engineering, mathematics, the arts, entertainment, culture. But they're so perverse that all they can ever do is to talk about bathrooms and to talk about sex. They're the ones who are obsessed with this topic. We're not. Right? And so that's the perversion, right? Because then the Miami Herald went out and said, should we be talking about sex in classrooms? And then they tried to then say that 70% of people agree that we should not be having conversations about sex, and linking that to the Don't Say Gay bill. Wrong. Because even the Miami Herald then made the offense of linking sex and sexual orientation and gender identity discussions to the community. It's such a foul and it's such a hit below the belt every single time that it saddens the sort of the quality of intellectual capacity that people have out there, right?
It shows the lowest of the low. It really, and I love Michelle Obama. I love you. When they go low, we go high. For me, when they go low, I go to hell.
That's right.
I go straight to hell. Because at this point, they're sacrificing children. We just had the jurors pass the life sentence for a person who murdered children. To me, it's like you turn a blind eye to that, but yet you're focusing on the bathroom. Right. You're focusing on what is being taught in history or quality education, or you're attacking low-paid teachers who are struggling to take care of your damn children.
And in a state with an ongoing teacher shortage, why would you threaten the people that you already have in the classroom?
They don't care about that.
They don't care about that.
That's the only answer.
The goal is to gut it.
And it's interesting. No criticism to your question, but your question is not relevant. And the reason it's not relevant is unless the LGBTQ community moves out of you've got to vote, why are they doing this, we're being attacked. Yes, all of those things are true, and they mean absolutely nothing of any conclusion that is going to bring us or propel us to any conclusion other than what we're seeing happen. So we've got to figure out the new conclusion. And we're going to make sure that Orlando Gonzalez and Save does it. So you get right on that and solve that problem for us. And Jamal, we're going to talk about Orlando. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Lara are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out television network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.